Gary, we are going to start, though, Robbie, as well, with the current state of the Premier League, because it has taken a little bit of a battering last couple of weeks, and lots of people coming in with criticism in terms of the way teams are playing, and, of course, in that the Premier League title and the relegation situation are all but sewn up. Is it changing the Premier League? And if so, is that a bad thing?
It's definitely changing, and the game always is going to evolve. My comments last week were that the game's becoming a little robotic and players haven't got the spontaneity. I think particularly in wide areas up front, they're recycling the ball quite a lot. We're seeing centre-backs go deeper and deeper to get on the ball, and we're seeing defenders play out more. I mean, what I would say is that you look at sort of Burnley and Southampton in the last couple of years, this is not just the teams at the top, this is the teams at the very bottom. And there is a feeling, definitely, when you speak to fans in the Premier League and sort of in and around the game, that we're seeing poor imitations of what Pep Guardiola has brought into the game. Now, Pep's a genius and he's been able to deliver this style of football, but we're now seeing teams all across the board, even in League Two, League One and the Championship, trying to play this type of football. And with Championship players, League One and League Two players, it just doesn't work. You just see a lot more mistakes, and I think fans feel at this moment in time the game is just not as exciting as it should be. But the Premier League's a very high bar, and it is about excitement and thrill. And when we don't see it, we sometimes sort of reject it a little bit and speak out, and I think we should.
Robbie, it's two things, isn't it, though? It's the fact that the title and relegation are virtually sewn up. That's one thing.
Yeah.
But then it's also about the way, as Gary was saying, the styles of play that are maybe not as exciting.
Yeah, just on the first part, it's pretty obvious that certain clubs are having transitional seasons. They're not what they were. They're figuring it out. The Chelsea project is very different. It's very young. It's very progressive. But the other bit, as Gary alludes to, I do hear that. But I go back to what we're in here for. We're in for goals. Goals. Now, whether there's less dribbling and there's less kind of forward passing, maybe, but goals have been there. Last season was the most ever Premier League goals scored in one season. That's going back, that beats the early days of 22 teams in the division. And I think it has evolved. I personally enjoy the tactical side of it. So I've enjoyed watching the progression of certain sides. I think now, back from when we were playing, I was in a team that we were hanging on for most games in the Premier League. I think teams now are not hanging on so much. I think there's more progressive teams than we've ever seen before in terms of trying to be proactive in their football and not just playing safe and sitting back. I don't think we've seen so much parking of the bus in recent seasons. I think the trend is up for goals and the trend's up for more control and more football. There's energy from a resurgent Aston Villa and Newcastle United. The Nottingham Forest story is a great one in terms of counter-attacking. It's not just the Uber playing out from the back. I agree that certain teams at the bottom of the table trying to find a way through haven't done particularly well, Southampton being one of them. Though, by the way, it hasn't changed much when they haven't done so much with a different manager. So you can look at it in different lights. I enjoy the Brightons, the Bournemouths, the Brentfords, the Fulhams, play an attractive, attacking style of football that fans enjoy. If not at the top of the league table, I think generally, it's pretty good.
Gary, is there a lack of superstar managers?
I mean, the managers, I think, do have a massive influence on the Premier League. Go back to the mid-2000s and then the period that we've just come out of. I think when you've had the likes of Tuchel and Conte, Klopp, Pep Guardiola, and back in the day it was Sir Alex Ferguson, Wenger, Benitez, Mourinho. They are the best managers in the world. I do think they bring a higher level of football. I mean, just going back to sort of what Robbie was saying, at Old Trafford a few weeks ago, I was there, and Manchester United fans don't boo managers and they don't boo players. They started to boo Onana and the defenders when they were playing out from the back across their own box. I've never seen that before at Old Trafford. So I understand the fact that we do see exciting football, progressive football. We don't just go back to 4-4-2 and knocking the ball long and playing into the channels, but there is a happy medium, and I think at this moment in time the balance is such that I just worry about where the game's going a little bit, that we're not allowing players just to take risks in certain areas of the pitch where I believe they should do it. And there are exceptions to that. Saka's an exception to that. Cole Palmer, the PSG wingers the other night were fantastic, I felt, in Europe. So, look, it's not something that we need to really overly worry about this, but we just need to keep it, I think, you know, on guard.
OK.
Just on the managers, real quick, I think it's a great point. Like, the great managers have maybe moved out the league, but you're getting the next breed, the next bunch of greatness. Is Amorim a great coach? Arne Slot has had a pretty good start. You know, if you go down the league, there's a lot of young, kind of, the next big thing in the league.
as well.
Maresca's another one. Can he be a great manager?
We just don't know yet.
Don't know yet.
No.
That's the point.
That's
OK, chaps, thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Lowe, and as we head towards the end of an exciting Premier League season, make sure you like and subscribe.